Hello, my name is Jim Chapman and I have been invited to the actual Sky Cinema, which is very, very cool. I'm very lucky because I get to watch some of my favourite clips in this room. This is the Sky Cinema where like big decisions are made, like people come and show their films here and then Sky decide if they want them. Did you know it's been 50 years since The Godfather first premiered in the US? Now why The Godfather, some of you might ask? If you've never seen The Godfather trilogy, you are doing yourself a disservice. It is now in part of our popular culture. Like, people reference it all the time, from The Simpsons to me, kind of in my daily life. There are sayings that we all use all the time now that came from these films.
Instead, you come into my house on the day my daughter's to be married and you ask me to do murder. Money.
Now, to celebrate, I'm gonna take you through some of my favorite moments because I'm a bit of a film nerd and this is a big day for me. So what I really love about that scene is kind of a few things. Firstly, it's sort of topped and tailed with the whole cannoli thing.
Don't forget the cannoli.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
So it's Clemenza and Rocco who are about to go and kill Paulie. You think they're pals, and then they just pull over and they shoot Paulie in the head 3 times, and it's suddenly really, really chilling. This is the thing about The Godfather. No one is just evil. They are all kind of like working their way through. They do a lot of bad things, but family comes first, and that often means pastries.
Bravo!
Now, a lot of the Godfather trilogy is about Michael's battle between being a good man and following in the family business. Now, the family business isn't quite so good, as we know. Now, this is an example of him trying to do right. He has a business with a bunch of mob personalities, and he sold it, and he's paying everybody off and respectfully asks them to sort of leave him be now. He wants out. Most respect his wishes. Joey Zaza, however, gets nothing, and so doesn't. Unfortunately, Joey also has a helicopter full of machine guns waiting outside, and he decides to shoot the joint up.
Let's go.
Following the helicopter attack, Michael doesn't want to go after Joey Zaza because he thinks that he was just sort of like the middleman. He wants to go higher. He does want revenge, but he's smart about it. However, he suffers a stroke, and so Vincent takes over. Now, Vincent is very hot-headed, and he decides to kind of take Joey out and a lot of his crew. Michael doesn't really appreciate it, but what it actually does is it shows that Michael is still, even in this film, torn between going legitimate and being a good man, and kind of being the mobster that everyone expects him to be.
Get inside! Open the door! Open the door!
Hi, Joe.
Zaza!
Now, this is the pinnacle of Michael's choices. As I said before, he's choosing between being a good man and the family business. Unfortunately, those two things are so intertwined that his choices have led to his own family dying. This is his daughter being shot by a bullet that was meant for him, and it is utterly devastating.
Please.
While we're on the subject of people dying in Michael's stead, this is his wife getting blown up in a car bomb. He is laying low in Italy, and he falls in love with, and he marries Apollonia. What makes this particularly miserable is that he sees it coming like a second before it happens, and it's just too late.
Fabrizio, dove vai?
Michele, aspettami lì, che vengo da sola fino da te.
No! No, Apollonia!
You may have noticed that people in these films are super dramatic and like really extra, and they can't just send a letter or make a phone call, they have to like send a message. This is a way of saying that Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
They send his bulletproof vest along with the fish. And it's also a line now
Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
that you can say to anybody and they will understand what you mean
Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
because of this film.
Try Luca again. Go ahead. What the hell is this?
That's a Sicilian message. It means Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Now this is one of the most iconic scenes in all of cinema. Turns out people in the mob love sending a message, but nobody does it better than Vito himself. This follows actually one of the most iconic lines in cinema ever. I'll make him an offer he can't refuse. He gets refused, and he gets refused again, and so he decides to really up the ante, and he actually decapitates a horse and puts the head of a horse in bed with a film producer in order to get his nephew a role. So he wakes up in the morning covered in blood, sharing a bed with a horse's head, and what we learn from that is that offers don't always work, but threats usually do. Now, they're certainly very thorough when it comes to ammunition in The Godfather. We've seen Paulie take 3 to the head. Sonny gets shot by a bunch of guys with machine guns like countless times. We've seen helicopters shoot through walls and glass. This is Don Vito getting shot, and I've counted 10 rounds in this, 6 of which at least are in the first clip before it cuts to a different angle. He doesn't walk it off, I mean, let's be generous, but he still lives for quite a while after this. That guy is tough. Michael's brother Fredo was part of a murder attempt on Michael's life. So this is a New Year's Eve party where Michael kind of confronts his brother to let him know that he knows what's going on. Now this scene here is just packed full of emotion, it's full of betrayal and full of love. He grabs his brother tightly around the neck and kisses him on the mouth and says, "I know it was you." Basically saying, "I love you, but you gotta go."
There's a plane waiting for us to take us to Miami in an hour, all right? Don't make a big thing about it. I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
This takes place during the opening scene, and what I love about this is just how tight the camera is. You know exactly what this scene's about. It's about power and it's about respect. It's also one of the most iconic scenes in all of cinema. The iconic sort of moustache thing he does, he's in his tuxedo. You see that shot out of context and you know exactly what it's from.
We've known each other many years, but this is the first time you ever came to me for counsel or for help.
Also, as a side note, did you know that that cat that he strokes, apparently it was just a cat that was knocking around on set, and Marlon Brando just decided that it was his cat then and started stroking it. I just think that's so cool.
You don't ask with respect. You don't offer friendship. You don't even think to call me Godfather.
If you fancy a Godfather marathon, and let's face it, why wouldn't you? You can check out the entire trilogy now on Sky Cinema. Also, if you like this video, make sure you click the like button and be sure to subscribe for loads more epic content. Thanks very much for watching.